Hello, and welcome to a very serious episode of How to Animate.
Hello, and welcome back to learning how to sprite animate. Today, I'll be teaching about some of the most important things when it comes to sprite animation, the Vcam and Swivel. Shouldn't be a very long episode, should be quick and simple today, so let's just get straight into it. If you're animating, you can't just animate objects moving on a canvas and call it a day, because that'll pretty much capture the entire canvas here. And all you'll be left seeing is just pretty much this, with a tiny little thing in the corner, or however big or small your objects are on the canvas. You can animate with the canvas. I know of some people who have done that, but we won't really be going over that today. We're just going to focus on the Vcam and Swivel. The Vcam is just a camera that will basically allow you to capture all your movements in different scenes. So if I just put it right here, it'll capture all of that. You can transform it in any way you like. You can make it smaller, you can skew it, you can transform it, look at any which way you want, make it look different, you know? You don't have to be limited to how the camera works. You don't even have to keep the camera focused just on the center of the guy. You can move the camera any way you want, just keep on following what that movement's doing. With the camera, you can also put it in an extra symbol by pressing F8, making a new symbol. And if you want to accomplish some sort of screen shape, you can just frame, you just move it like so, back and forth. As you can see, now we can do this, and it'll acquire a screen shake effect if you put the camera over anything with this moving. I wouldn't go into the camera itself and edit anything, because this has actual code within it, and you could mess it up, so you always want to put it into a new symbol. Once you've gotten your camera work done with and your animation finalized, you'll want to export a SWF, but not before changing some settings. So in order to change the settings, you're going to want to go over to File, Publish Settings, and then a big old menu right here will just be brought up. So once here, you'll be greeted with a menu with many options here. We'll just be messing with 3. And where it says JPEG quality, you want to set it to 100. Don't really know what it does, but I've been doing it for years, so I don't know, you can do it if you want. Now we're going to be changing our audio settings, that way it doesn't sound like an old 2013 Flash animation. What you're going to want to do is you're going to want to click on any one of these highlighted yellow things, and it'll bring up Sound Settings menu. You're going to want to change it from MP3 to RAW. Click off Convert Stereo to Mono, and with the sample rate, you're going to want to change it to 44 kilohertz. Then, you're just going to want to do the same thing for the other option. Now that we've done this, we're just going to want to click this little folder icon right here to bring up the File Explorer, and we're just going to want to find any folder that we want to export to set. So, I'm just going to export it here in my documents. But you can change the name here if you want to, so I'll just change it to Overegg, and then just save it there. Now, once you hit Publish, your SWF file will have exported to where you should have saved it. And now that we've done all that, we're going to move on to a program called Swivel, where we can export our SWF files to MP4s. You can go ahead and download Swivel over here on Newgrounds if you want. I'll leave a link to it down below or whatever. Once you download Swivel from Newgrounds, you're going to want to install it to wherever you want and just create a desktop shortcut. Then, you're just going to open it. Be warned though, when you open Swivel, it will open up by just saying its name or whatever. And it can jump scare you if your volume is set to max, so I'd just be wary of that. Anyways, now that we're here, what we're going to want to do first is click on this add thing. It'll bring up File Explorer. Now you're just going to want to find your SWF file, and just double click it. Now it'll be put in here, and now we get a whole plethora of different options available to us. So now that we've imported this into Swivel, we're just going to want to mess with a few things. Over here in Bitmap Smoothing, we're just going to want to turn that off. Make our sprites look not ugly. Then, if render quality is already set to max, it'll probably be set to like a low or something. Just put it to high. And then, over here, the final thing we can mess with, if you want to, is you can change what frame the animation will start at. So, let's say it'll start at 13. Over here, you can see that the thumbnail changed for the animation preview, and that's because it's starting at frame 13. You can also do that with the ending, on what frame it'll end. So we can put it to like, I don't know, 32. You won't see a thumbnail change for that, but it'll still have changed. Anyways, we're not really going to be messing with that. We're just going to want to export the entire thing for this tutorial. And we're pretty much done with this tab, so we'll head on over to the video tab. Over here, we're not going to really be messing with too much. It'll be the same with audio and overlay. But the things you want to make sure of are, this is clicked off. Video size is set to the same aspect ratio as your animation's canvas. And video bitrate, you're just going to drag it all the way over to lossless. Next, we're just going to head over to the audio tab. Over here, we're not going to mess with too much either, except for audio bitrate. We're going to do the same thing that we did to video bitrate, and we're just going to drag it all the way to the right. Then, finally, we'll go over to overlay, where we could put a watermark over our animation. That way it doesn't get reposted and someone just takes credit for your work. In order to do that, just click on Enable Watermark, choose what image you want, and once you've chosen the image that you want, you'll get a little orange icon down here. That is your watermark, and it's showing you a preview of where it's going to go. So, you can click on any one of these things and it'll change the position of the watermark. I usually have mine in the top right, so we'll just set it there for now. If you think the watermark's a bit too intrusive, you can always make it smaller, or if you think it's way too small, you can always make it larger. I usually set mine to about 50, but since this is already a small watermark, I'm just going to leave it at like 100. For the transparency, I always set it to 50. That way people can always still see the animation behind the watermark. And now, with all of this done, all we have to do is press convert. And you even get a little preview of what your animation is going to look like. And with that finally exported, we can just click on the highlighted yellow text, and it'll bring up our video. So now, we can just watch it from here. But yeah, that's basically it for this tutorial for the week. I'm sorry it had to come out so late. I've been moving into a new house and everything, and I just got everything set up. But for now, this will be it, and I'll be sure to come out with new episodes every other week, like I said. See ya.